The Zephyrian interrogation chamber hummed with bio-neural interfaces, each tendril pulsing with malevolent energy. Commander Vexthul adjusted the neural dampeners with practiced precision, his forearms working in perfect synchronization. Across the galaxy, his species was renowned for their psychological warfare techniques. Breaking minds was as natural to them as breathing their methane-rich atmosphere. "Begin the neural cascade," Vexthul commanded, his translator rendering his clicks and whistles into standard galactic. The human strapped to the biochair didn't even flinch as the first wave of artificial agony coursed through his nervous system. Captain Marcus. Chen of the Terran Defense Corps had been captured 3 cycles ago during the failed reconnaissance mission on Kepler 442b. Intel suggested humans were a recently spacefaring species. Primitive, emotional, easily broken. The Zephyrian High Command expected useful information within hours. They had been torturing him for 72 days. "Your resilience is admirable," Vexthul said, studying the readouts. The human's pain receptors were firing at maximum capacity, yet his vital signs remained stable. More concerning, his brain activity showed patterns the Zephyrians had never encountered. But every species has a breaking point. Chen's eyes opened, meeting Vexthul's compound gaze. When he spoke, his voice was hoarse but steady. "You know what's funny? Back home I used to complain about stubbing my toe." The commander's mandibles clicked in confusion. Human humor during torture was unprecedented. "Increase neural intensity by 40%, Vexthul ordered. The biochair screamed as energy surged through its systems. Chen's back arched, muscles straining against the restraints. But instead of breaking, he began to laugh. Not the broken laughter of a shattered mind, but something darker. Something that made the Zephyrian technicians step back from their consoles. "You don't understand," Chen gasped between waves of artificial pain. "You've been trying to break me with suffering. But humans? We're not built to avoid pain. We're built to endure it, learn from it, and come back stronger." Vexthul's secondary eyes focused on the bio readings. Impossible. The human's neural pathways were adapting, creating new connections faster than the torture devices could damage them. His pain tolerance wasn't just maintaining, it was increasing. "My species evolved on a death world," Chen continued, his voice growing stronger despite the agony. "Every day was survival. Predators, diseases, natural disasters, starvation. We learned that pain is just information. Information that we're still alive." The commander activated the empathy disruptor, a device that forced victims to experience the deaths of loved ones on repeat. Chen's biometrics spiked briefly, then stabilized at levels that should have been impossible. "I buried my daughter when she was 7, Chen whispered, tears streaming down his face. But his eyes remained focused, alert. "Cancer. I held her hand for 18 hours as she died. After that, your little machine is just noise." Vexthul felt something he'd never experienced in 200 years of interrogation. Fear. The human wasn't breaking. He was evolving. "You want to know about human military strategies?" Chen asked conversationally. "Fine. We have a saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You've spent 72 days making me stronger." The biochair's restraints began to creak. Impossible. The human's muscle mass hadn't changed, but somehow his physical capabilities were increasing along with his mental fortitude. "Stop the session," Vexthul commanded, but Chen continued talking. "The beautiful thing about pain is that it has limits. Physical pain peaks and plateaus. Emotional pain either breaks you completely or teaches you that you're unbreakable. Guess which category I fall into?" Warning klaxons blared as the biochair's restraints snapped. Chen stood slowly, his movements deliberate and controlled despite 72 days of immobilization. The neural interface cables hung uselessly from his skull, sparking against metal that should have been conducting agony. "You made a mistake," Chen said, rolling his shoulders. "You thought torture would extract information. Instead, you gave me something much more valuable. Time to study your technology, your psychology, your weaknesses." Vexthul reached for the alarm, but Chen was already moving. 72 days of involuntary neural stimulation had mapped every muscle, every reflex, optimizing his physical responses beyond natural human limits. "Security breach in Interrogation Bay 7, Chen announced calmly, speaking into Vexthul's own communication device. His accent was perfect Zephyrian. "Commander Vexthul requires immediate medical assistance. I repeat, medical emergency." The commander watched in horror as the human's eyes reflected something that made his species' worst nightmares seem pleasant. This wasn't the broken prisoner they'd captured. This was something they had accidentally created through their own cruelty. You wanted information about human military capabilities? Chen smiled, and Vexthul finally understood why humans were the only species in the galaxy to smile with teeth. Here's the most important thing you need to know. We don't just survive hell. We adapt to it, master it, and then we bring it home with us. The security team burst through the door to find Commander Vexthul cowering in the corner and a human standing calmly in the center of the chamber, surrounded by sparking torture devices and broken restraints. "Gentlemen," Chen said pleasantly, "we need to talk." 3 months later, the Zephyrian High Command received a single transmission from their supposedly impregnable interrogation facility. It was Chen's voice, speaking flawless Zephyrian. "This is Captain Marcus Chen of the Terran Defense Corps, broadcasting from your former military installation. Your people have been relocated to comfortable holding facilities where they're being treated, according to galactic convention. No one has been harmed. To the Zephyrian leadership, you have 72 days to begin peace negotiations. The same amount of time you spent accidentally creating the thing you're now afraid to face. Oh, and one more thing, I've been analyzing your interrogation techniques. Very impressive. I can't wait to show you some improvements I've made." The transmission ended with the sound of human laughter, and across the Zephyrian Empire, a species that had never known fear began to understand why humans called their homeworld Earth, a name that, in the oldest human languages, meant the ground beneath your feet, the ground where nightmares learned to walk upright and smile back.